Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Agung Prastyo Wibowo from Interpersonal and Transactional Conversation B class, and today I will do my assignment in question and answer of dialogue ABC. Number 1. Describe the speaker's relationship and what forms of address do they use? The answer is the speaker's relationship is between a student and chairman. Number 2. Where does the conversation take place and what is the topic of conversation? The answer. The conversation takes place in Dr. Hampton's room, and the topic of the text is party invitation about Gretchen's celebration on finishing her dissertation. Number 3. How does Gretchen introduce the invitation? Why is she being so flexible about the time in her invitation? The answer. She introduced the invitation by saying, "We would like to invite you especially since you are a chairman. Would you be able to come the weekend after next on Saturday?" Number 4. What kind of gathering is it going to be? Is anyone beside Dr. and Mrs. Hampton going to be invited? The answer. The gathering is about Gretchen's celebration on finishing her dissertation, and yes it is. There are some people beside Dr. Hampton and Mrs. Hampton that going to be invited. Number 5. What is the function of line 24 until 26? The function of line 24 until 26 is that Dr. Hampton wants to be called as Henry. Number 6. What do you think the guests will be wearing to the dinner party? I guess they will be wearing a casual clothes. Number 7. How formal is this dialogue? The answer. The dialogue is categorized as a formal dialogue because it using a formal sentences on the conversation and using a formal kind of making and accepted the invitation. And then the second one is question and answer for dialogue B. Question number 1 for dialogue B. Who calls whom on the telephone and why? The answer. Don calls Tom because Don wants to invite him for bowling. Number 2. What kind of invitation is there? The invitation is about joining bowling between a friend and it's an informal invitation. Number 3. How does Tom react to the invitation and what is his reply? The answer. He rejects it by saying that he has a lot of homework and chemistry exam. Number 4. How does Don feel at the end of the conversation? The answer is Don feels sad because Tom cannot join but he respects it. Number 5. What is the level of formality in this conversation? The answer. The level of formality in this conversation is informal conversation because the dialogue using informal sentences. Question and answer for dialogue C. Question number 1. Why does Katie call David? The answer. She wants to invite David to join the dinner. Number 2. What form of address do the participants use? The answer is form of address that participants use is less formal because it just mentions full first name for each of them. Number 3. Notice that Katie doesn't identify herself, and what could explain this? The answer is Katie doesn't identify herself because they have known each other and they are friends. Number 4. What can you say about David's attitude toward Katie in line 6 until 8? How eager is he to accept an invitation from Katie? The answer is, he seems like having another plan with Shirley, but he really wants to join Katie's invitation. Number 5, and this is the last question. What is the result of the invitation? The answer is the result of the invitation is not be declared yet because David need to check again with Shirley first. That's all about the question and answer of dialogue A, B, and C, and I hope you learn from it. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.